This episode of the Acts of Geekery podcast is brought to you by Camp Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake offers a variety of activities for your teenager to participate in, from running to swimming to survival skills. There's always something going on at Crystal Lake. Currently hiring new counselors to help around the camp. Spend some time with your peers in the safest camp on Earth. Good evening, morning / afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, whatever time of day it is when you're listening to this.
Or if you're in a time warp, it could be all of those all at the same time.
Yeah, you know, that's
They could be repeating them all.
okay. Yeah.
Good Groundhog's Day.
Happy Groundhog's Day, everybody. It is the Acts of Geekery podcast, where we bring you all the geeky news in the world of geekdom. Because I'm Cory.
I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
That is true. We are the Brothers Geek. And sometimes we bring you news you don't even want.
Yeah. Like news that you were talking about earlier today with teenagers and school teachers. School marms.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're going through the news and you're like, oh, hey, here's a news story. I'm like, that has nothing to do with geek stuff, though.
I don't know if your hot 24-year-old teacher came on to you and in school and you were a geek. I mean, you know, it's geek fantasy, right? Or just a guy fantasy, I guess. Or girl, whatever.
Let's just move on.
Moving on.
All right. Let's go ahead and get right into the news.
The news.
I can't think of a thing to say.
It's the news, and we have a lot of it today, as usual. We're going to start out, as we always do, with a little Dawn of Justice news. Isn't that great? Huh?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's either that or Avengers Age of Ultron.
So last week we brought you a little bit of news about Jenna Malone being actually cast as Robin and that being revealed and everything like that.
Yeah, as Casey Kelly. Carrie Kelly.
Carrie
Kelly,
Carrie
the
Kelly.
girl Robin
Yeah.
from The Dark Knight Returns.
Yep. Not the movie, not any of the movies, but
Frank Miller's Dark
yeah.
Knight Returns.
You got his name right.
The good Dark Knight Returns.
The good Dark Knight Returns. But apparently the gentleman who released it was an extra, and if they find out who this extra is, he could be fined $5 million for leaking this information.
I am so glad he leaked it. I hope he does not get caught.
Yep.
Because that would mean if there was no leaking news, we wouldn't have much news.
It's true. We would just go right into reviews.
Pretty much. Yeah, our show would be a lot shorter.
All right, let's go ahead and get into reviews.
All right. That's good one. Good one.
And then the Warner Brothers company announced that a Batman Superman trailer was coming soon and would be featuring a lot of Batman.
Oh, go figure. Because Batman is going to try to carry the whole thing because everyone loves Batman. They love the Man-Bat.
And this is really interesting because this news came out after something happened with Marvel.
Their Age of Ultron trailer leaked.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It is fantastic.
It was going to come out this upcoming Tuesday. When you're listening to this, it's probably tomorrow or the next day or the day one day ago or today.
Like I said, that time warp just messes you up.
Exactly. But they came out with they got leaked early, which they claim Hydra did it. Obviously.
That's perfect marketing right there.
But so this trailer came out and everybody was like, this trailer leaked. Everybody look at it really fast before it goes away and gets shut down.
And it did for a short little bit.
And then Marvel came out and said, well, you already saw it. Here's the HD version of it.
Yep. Here's the real version.
And they put it out online. So
way to go,
have
Marvel.
you watched it, Scott?
Oh, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about 3 or 4 myself. I
end up showing people and I'm like, look how awesome this is. And then I sit there watching and go,
Yep.
And then they look at me weird for giggling. I don't know why.
And it's like, all right, this looks pretty cool. And then they get to a certain point, and we won't spoil it for you. Like this is like we won't spoil the trailer, but HB comes out,
and it just sells the whole trailer.
Oh my gosh, everybody who watches that trailer or who I make watch that trailer goes, oh my gosh, as soon as they see that.
Oh yeah, it makes it so they all want to see it.
So this is really, I think this is really interesting because there's a lot of news coming about Dawn of Justice, and everybody's excited for it and everything. And when this trailer got leaked, my wife goes, I'm more excited for Dawn of Justice.
She's probably the only one.
And as soon as, but then she watched it. Then we all watched it together.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, we were like, oh my gosh. Marvel's, we forgot that Marvel is doing it. Like they're
not just Marvel,
go-tos.
Joss Whedon.
Yes.
The god among directors. Pretty much anything he touches turns to gold. So
Platinum.
Turns to
Platinum's even
platinum.
better
That's true.
than gold.
Platinum is a better middleman.
Scott, do you like the Tom Hardy?
I don't know. Can you hear me talking about him?
Your punishment must be more severe.
Do you feel him, sir? I bet the mic barely even picked that up.
Yeah, that looks like it got really quiet there. I hope you all at home did not turn up your mics just to try and hear Scott
But yes,
do his Bane impression.
but yes, I do like the Tom Hardy. He's been in a couple other movies, not just as Bane.
He was
in that one where the brothers fight. The one brother's like a science
Fighter?
teacher. No, warrior.
Warrior.
Yeah, that one was really good.
He's
he's been in a couple like
yeah.
war movies. He's been pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be in he's rumored to be in talks to play
Yeah, total rumor.
Apocalypse.
We don't know for sure yet,
Yeah. But the next X-Men movie coming out, he's going to play the first mutant, Apocalypse.
they built the pyramids apparently,
Yep.
according to Days of Future Past.
Yep. I think that was a young Apocalypse.
And if you
And then-
haven't seen that end credit, too bad. It's been out long enough that you should have known about it already.
It's more than 2 weeks. More than 2 weeks.
Way more than 2 weeks. But it shows Apocalypse,
Yep.
and he's using his mutant powers to
Telekinetically build the pyramids
Which-
while everybody watches and chants his name.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yep. And then, so Tom Hardy could be playing Apocalypse.
Which would be a perfectly great explanation for who built the pyramids, except for we already figured out how they did it.
Yeah.
If you get sand slightly wet,
It's easier to move.
it loses most of its resistance, and the bricks or the logs, bricks and logs
Yeah.
will just roll and slide right across
It's
it.
really funny because they used to think, like, they saw hieroglyphics of people rolling the logs and everything like that, and there was one person standing on top pouring
water.
a jug of water, and they thought it was like this weird ritual thing, whatever. Well, it turns out that that's actually their scientific method for moving giant
Yeah.
stone
Yeah.
slabs.
When you make sand
But
dense.
who taught them that,
damp.
Scott? The aliens. That's who. And Apocalypse.
And Apocalypse, apparently. Who taught Apocalypse? The aliens.
The aliens. Aliens.
We just tied it all back to aliens.
Yep. So yeah, I'm not sure how much or how great I feel about Tom Hardy.
He won't have a mask on. You'll be able to understand him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they do put him in a mask.
He does kind of have like a lazy eye most of the time.
I am the most powerful mutant, but I can't. I have one lazy eye.
And I think it's just because he's been punched way too many times, either in real life or in a movie. I
Well,
don't
he
know.
hasn't been punched as many times as Mickey Rourke. I can tell you that.
That's true.
that
That is very true.
guy's got one.
Ooh, Mickey
punched
Rourke should be
face.
Apocalypse. Why not?
Sam Rockwell.
Speaking of Apocalypse, there are some fan art out there of The Rock as Apocalypse.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool.
And I look at it and I go, get back into your Black Adam costume this instant.
But him playing bald evil guys is perfect roles for him.
Yes. Go back to the Scorpion. The Scorpion King is Apocalypse.
Ah, there we go.
Dun dun dun. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh, Jason Momoa is really happy now that he can talk about being Aquaman.
Finally, he says.
Yeah.
Or what he said, like, it's about time or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's a B.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's-
if we're really allowed to say those kind of words in this podcast.
We're allowed to say whatever we want. It's our
Let's ask our
podcast.
programming director.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Bat Dash Man.
I'm looking at the Hulk. Hulk says it's okay.
Bat Dash Man gives a thumbs up too. So he said it's a bitch.
Yeah, keeping it secret. He hated it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. This is kind of rapid fire news here. Walking Dead dominates ratings for 2 weeks now.
Yay!
Beat out everything else. in
Football
its-
included.
Yeah, in the second episode.
Finally, thank you, America, for actually realizing that football is not important.
Walking Dead is.
Walking Dead is.
even if it's a boring episode.
Let's watch good TV, not football, not the Kardashians, not pregnant dancing teen lover moms. I don't know what are they called? Pageant mom.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're all terrible. They're all just horrid
horrible
things.
people.
Horrid shows. What did I say? Pregnant dancing teen lover moms or something? Yeah. But I'm glad. Come on, America. Good job.
Yeah, you did a good job. Hopefully the third episode is gonna be better than the second, though.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Until the very end, like you said. And then the very end, they hook you. The last, 5 minutes of it is it's great.
Yeah, that's pretty much how people got through season 2.
All I can say is there's someone that gets nom-nommed, and not by zombies.
Nom. Well, you know where you can watch Walking Dead if you have $3.75 million?
Anywhere you want.
Well, yeah. Stan Lee's house, though.
Oh.
It's up for sale.
The Generalissimo is moving.
Yep, he probably is finding him a nice trailer or an assisted living home.
Well, here's the funny thing. I don't know where he lives. Somewhere in California, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But I looked up his house, and it is a 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
To keep that in perspective, my house is 1,600.
Okay, so it's not that much bigger.
No, it's 4 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms, 2 baths.
3.75 mil.
Yeah, he bought it for $3.55 million in 2009.
Oh wow, so he's not really marketing the price up for him living there.
No, which is crazy. Well,
it's got my stink everywhere.
Does he
Old men stink.
Does he mark it? Does he mark his territory?
Yes, he does.
Does he yell Excelsior every time he marks something?
Excelsior! Stan, quit peeing on the walls.
Excelsior!
Kenny Stone.
So $3.75 million. That's a lot of money for a house that's meh.
Yeah.
I got friends that live in houses bigger than that cost nowhere near that.
Yeah, I'll keep the 3.75 mil instead. How about that?
Yeah.
Not that I have that much money.
Good job, California, ruining your housing market.
But that's not the kind of news that we talk about on this show. Instead, we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Geek home buying. We're going to talk about that.
Episode 20. Look for it. Oh, I didn't mention it. It's episode 17.
Oh.
Yeah, so 3 episodes away from the Geek House buying.
We're far enough in. We don't need to keep track.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always nice
I'm just
to tell
kidding.
people.
We do need to keep track because no one else will. If we don't, who will?
You don't even. If I don't, who will?
The internet, where we store all of our stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you just answered your own question there. This has been another argument between Scott and Cory, brought to you by Acts of Geekery. Guardians of the Galaxy, Scott.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, it is the top worldwide movie of the year. Top grossing. It has passed X-Men Days of Future Past.
Even more awesomer.
So now it is number 1 for 2014.
All right.
So if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet,
go see it.
Go see it.
I pre-ordered it.
You got it pre-ordered?
Yep. I went on Amazon. I pre-ordered the Blu-ray
About
3D digital copy.
Away? Month and a half?
November.
I thought it was
15th?
December.
No. Maybe it is December.
I heard it was December.
I will find out for us.
Well, in the meantime, actually, I can't really tell you about 12 Monkeys, but apparently 12 Monkeys is getting a TV series.
12 Monkeys is it's a classic sci-fi movie, and you shrug, but you need to watch it. It's actually pretty decent.
All right.
Starring Bruce Willis. He gets sent back in time to stop this terrorist, which is Brad Pitt, from releasing...
Wait, Brad Pitt plays the terrorist?
But not just terrorist. A crazy, schizophrenic, all-over-the-place nutjob terrorist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a wacko. And he's trying to release some kind of pathogen or whatever you want to call it. Contagion?
Yeah.
He's trying to release the Ebolas. And
he
did it!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, he did it!
Bruce Willis, you have failed us!
December 9th,
December
by the way,
9th.
is when
Thank
it comes
you.
out.
I knew I was right. So that's the second week of December, I think. Yep.
I don't know. We'll get it. We'll watch it 4 times.
Marvel Studios is now teasing a press conference of their own to the world, saying that they're going to put together a press conference for people, possibly revealing their lineup for the next
Didn't they already,
phase.
though?
No, they came out and said, we have movies up to 2022.
Oh.
But they didn't come out with the names. We saw, like, quote-unquote leaked pictures of what they are. But Marvel Studios is going to be getting ready to announce that.
Nice.
I think they did it to, like, they were like, yeah, let's do this because Warner Brothers did, so that we can get the focus back on us. And then their trailer leaked early, and they're like, oh, never mind. We'll just do this because we want to.
Yeah.
I forgot. We're Marvel.
This it's
Turn
just,
that money machine back on.
Yeah. I love that they're both doing stuff, but I hate that it's a pissing contest between the two of them.
And everything's a pissing contest.
I know. I just wish they would get along. I want a crossover. I want a amalgam universe movie.
Maybe in like 100 years.
I know. I want Wolverine Batman mixed together. The Wolf Bat? I don't know.
I think it's the Batterine.
the Batterine.
No, I think his name is like Dark Claw or something in
Yeah.
the Amalgam universe.
Dark Claw. The
I like Batterine better.
Batterina.
Batterina. That would be Hulk. No, Hulk. Batman, Wolverine, and a ballerina together.
Hey, Batman's the best at
like
it.
Batman and Wolverine get sucked into like each other and morphed, but at the same time, there's some random ballerina passing by, and she gets pulled into an accident.
Except for Batman already knows how to do ballerina. Or ballet? Ballerina?
I think he knows how to do ballerina too.
Probably. But he can do ballet.
Yes, he can do
Because he's the
ballet.
best at everything.
Yep. Even
so
Dance Dance
they wouldn't
Revolution.
need a ballerina. He's already good at it.
Um,
Speaking of reveals.
yeah, Ray Fisher,
Who?
the cyborg.
Who?
The guy who's going to be playing Cyborg.
Who?
General black guy.
Yeah. Generic.
Generic, not
Generic
general.
black guy.
General black guy. So, General black guy.
That's a good superhero name. We should write that down.
Well, he was surprised as everybody else to find out that there was going to be a Cyborg standalone movie.
He didn't even know he was in it.
He thought that his role was for Justice League movies, and then he said, I was completely taken off guard when they said they were going to do a standalone Cyborg. So I'm sure he's probably like, oh, I have more employment now.
You mean his eyeballs rolled around and money signs popped up and you heard a ching?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what he thought.
That's what would happen if I found out I was playing a Marvel character.
The bouncing boy.
Or a DC.
DC?
Oh,
Corey?
Come on.
Corey wants to be the bouncing boy.
Come on.
He wants to be in a League of Superheroes or
Legion
of Superheroes movie, and he wants to be the bouncing boy.
Damn it. It's canon now.
It is podcast canon.
Podcast canon.
Podcastin'.
Scott, do you know who Marina Bakarin is?
Yeah.
Who is she? I don't know. Tell me.
Oh, it wasn't rhetorical? She plays Inara Serra from Firefly.
The whore.
Yeah, the prostitute
The
or
escort
the
or
escort
the
or whatever they
companion.
call it. Yeah, companion. That's right.
And
She also plays a bad guy in Stargate SG-1.
And she also plays a bad guy in V.
Yep.
The
She's
remake.
the main bad. She's the main bad guy.
Main reptile.
No, the
lady.
main bad guy.
Bad guy.
It's V. That guy.
Well, she's going to be in Gotham now
oh,
as Dr. Leslie Tompkins.
Then it's definitely canceled.
Yes.
She's bringing that Firefly
Yes,
curse with
the
her.
Firefly curse comes with Marina Bakarin.
Sorry, Gotham. You had a good run, even though you got a full season of episodes. You're going to be canceled afterwards.
As soon as like, oh wait, you hired that Firefly lady? No, we got to cancel you now.
So she's playing who?
Leslie Tompkins.
And do we know anything about Leslie
yes,
Tompkins?
Leslie Tompkins is one of Batman's closest confidants.
So she dies
She knows. Well, no,
because everyone that gets close to Batman dies.
no, she actually doesn't. She's
Interesting.
Like, yeah, she is when Batman is Batman, she's an older doctor who runs a clinic to help injured people who don't have money.
Okay.
And Batman comes to her for help and helps her, and Bruce Wayne helps her business out and everything. And I think she actually knows who Batman is. I think she's one of the few people who knows his true identity. You know, him and every single one of his girlfriends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you want to know my secret identity? So she's going to be in Gotham, and that's going to be another little Easter egg. Scott, how are you feeling about Gotham?
There's something missing.
Yeah. What's missing?
Batman. Batman's missing. I like watching it, but Batman is missing.
Honestly, the first couple of episodes, I was like, yeah, this is really good. And now I'm kind of like, okay, we're doing the police procedural. That's kind of nice. Okay, here we go again.
Well, the problem is not just Batman. They talked about how this is the origins of all the characters.
Yeah.
But we pretty much only focused on, 2 episodes with Catwoman?
Yeah.
Or Selena Kyle. We saw Pamela
Ivy Peppers.
Pamela Isley from the comics. Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
We saw her for one episode. And for like 2 minutes in the whole episode. Little girl. We've seen Penguin in every episode, and he's really good. The guy that plays him was good.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I wish the entire show would be the Penguin's rise to power because he's the only thing that's keeping me entertained on that show
the
right
Penguin
now.
show.
The Penguin show.
Let's make it the Penguin show because he's doing great. Edward Nygma, which is the Riddler.
A couple episodes
He's
here
in. He's in like 2 episodes so far.
Yeah, he's not.
And they don't really. All they do is just tell him to shut up, and they don't really play along with his riddles, and they don't show. Yeah. Other than that, we get to hear about Fish Mooney, not a character from the comics.
I am so sick and tired of Fish Mooney. To be honest, we are 4 episodes in, and I'm already done with her. And every time that Bullock goes, I'm gonna go talk to my contact. It's like, or my contacts. It's like, no, you're just going to Fish Mooney because she's the only contact that you actually have.
Yeah. And then we get to see Sergeant Batista
from Dexter.
The same guy.
Yeah, he plays a crime boss, the Maroney crime boss.
Yep,
which is really
from the
cool.
Maroney family. And then we've seen a little bit of the other crime boss. I can't remember his name now. Falcone. They call him Falcone. I like Falcone.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think Maroney and Falcone are too close together, so they tried to differentiate it.
But that's the problem: is there's not enough Batman villains. There's not enough Batman. There's not enough Batman lore. I know they didn't want. There's not even enough Jim Gordon background.
Yeah,
all you're doing is, like you said, it's a police procedural.
Yeah, and it's like Jim Gordon's they in the first episode they talked about how he was in the army. They talked about how he was a decorated soldier. How his dad used to work at the police department and everything like that.
He can't fight apparently.
Yeah, and he gets the crap
all the time
out of him.
All the time. They don't talk about Bullock as an ex-boxer or anything. That's like a big deal in the comics.
They just gloss over these characters and just try and give you a police procedural. And
which means it'll succeed on Fox.
Oh yeah. If it's the same old dreck, it's gonna do well on Fox.
It'll succeed on Fox because it does not have a lot of geek stuff in it.
I mean,
the minute they start throwing geek things in, like Arrow does, like Flash does, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does, Fox would cancel it.
Oh yeah, they'd be like,
heck, even Constantine had more spoilers and Easter eggs in the first episode than Gotham has in the last 5. We see characters and their names, but that's it.
Yep.
Nothing else about them. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an all right show, but I think I've gone down in my geek card rating, and it's slowly creeping its way down.
And that is evidenced by the fact that when we've got Constantine, Flash, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Gotham all recorded and ready to watch. What's the one that gets watched the last? Gotham usually.
Yeah.
Because all the rest of the ones they're keeping more true to the geek roots, and they're a lot more fun,
They have, surprise, surprise, superheroes in them.
No way.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about The Flash. Speaking of, they get a full season run now.
Yay! Give them a round of applause, or a Flash super fast applause.
Oh, dang it!
I did 1,000.
I was Wally West Flash. I'm not as fast.
You're not as fast. Having a lot of fun with that one. Oh my gosh,
it's super great. And I kind of looked at this and I went, yeah, it was the best premiere CW ever had. They better give it a full season.
Yeah, well, I think it broke records, right? If I recall from our last, I think it broke records on premiere for viewership. The Flash did. Yeah,
I think so, actually. I think it, I think you're right.
Yeah, and funny thing is, one of the last episodes, Flash fought a villain called the Mist, and he can turn himself into poisonous gas, basically. And,
Which so the theme with Flash is somebody was doing something with chemicals or an element or something, and suddenly they have the power to control that element or whatever.
yeah, when the super collider exploded and caused all the
particle
accelerator. Same thing. That's the old way of saying it.
Like Weather Wizard, he got hit by lightning and he in a storm and everything, and so he can control the weather. Flash got hit by lightning, and he's quick as lightning now.
Yeah.
And what was the guy from the second episode? Who did we see in the second episode? Holy crap!
Oh, Multiplex.
Multiplex, yeah.
The guy that can split himself.
Yeah, he was testing genetic
stem cell replication
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
And on himself when the accelerator went off. And now Mist was a guy on death row who got hit with this.
The chemical was injected into him, and then the accelerator
blew
overloaded, and it turned him into the Mist, which means he can turn into that chemical now, which can kill people. And so the funny thing about that is, I'm not going to spoil the episode.
It's fun.
Flash wins always. I mean, sorry.
It's the first season. Flash has to win.
Yeah. But that guy is actually going to be on Gotham.
Really?
As Zaz.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Supposed to be. I saw a picture of him, and they're the exact same person.
Yeah. You're like, wait
same bald,
a
same
minute.
weird looking eye. Those weird looking eyes.
Yeah. That he did have quite a Zaz look to him, so that works really well. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have hoverboards now.
Wait a minute. It's not 2015 yet.
Wait, yeah, I mean,
what the heck?
that means we have time to refine them and
to make them work on
mass-produce them.
everything.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, the company has actually come out with a hoverboard that uses magnets. How do they work?
Magic.
Yep. And basically, for $10,000, you can get a hoverboard, or for like $6,000, you can get a kit to build your own.
Yeah, so it uses the same technology that maglev trains run on, which are the bullet trains in Japan and China and a couple other places.
Yeah.
Where the train actually does not touch the track. It actually hovers above the track by, an inch, half an inch or an inch above the track. And that's how it can get going so fast. There's zero resistance. And I actually read an article about one of the guys that stood on the hoverboard, and he said it's just like in the movie when he's over the water.
Oh, yeah.
And he can't get it to move forward without reaching way down and pushing on something. Yeah, he says it's just like that. Like it hovers, and it can hold up to 400 pounds, 300 pounds right now.
Nice.
So
a hoverboard for the gentleman like me.
For the portly gentleman.
This is the best hoverboard ever.
Are you eating it?
Yes.
Because it sounded like you were eating it.
I eat everything. Don't you know this?
Now you have maglev technology.
You know what? I don't want to be bouncing boy. I want to be matter eater lad.
Matter eater lad. Except for he's
actually pretty skinny.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Thanks.
So, I'm sorry. I'm a big fat guy too. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, but you would never try and call yourself bouncing boy.
No.
You're like, I'm Superboy.
No, I'm
Screw you.
No, if I'm Superboy, it's Superboy that let himself go after he got married.
Super balding husband.
But yes, hoverboard.
Yay!
$6,000 to build it, $10,000 to buy one pre-built.
And then you have to have a certain type of flooring in order to actually.
It's actually just iron. I think it's just a metal floor. Yeah, and that's the way it works.
We can dig down into the earth and get as much iron as we need.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. This is Minecraft. This is not Minecraft, but okay.
Let's see.
Only if we get a let me rewind that. Only if we get to sing our theme song. The Diggy Diggy Hole.
Yes, absolutely. Scott, you're here. I'm here.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
We're both here.
We're both excited for the next Hobbit movie.
Yes.
And I remember when the trailer came out.
Which comes out when?
December 17th.
There you go.
And I remember when the trailer came out, you looked at me and you said, "Who's that girl singing in the trailer?"
Yes, I did.
And it turns out it's Billy Boyd singing his song from Return of the King.
Which is, who's Billy Boyd, for those that are uninformed?
Pippin.
Pippin.
Yep, from Lord of the Rings.
Sings to the creepy king.
Yep.
while he's eating a food and getting really messy.
Yes.
He's worse than a Carl's Jr. commercial.
I want that footage played next to a Carl's Jr.
And then at the end, while he's running off the cliff, it says something like, "If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face."
By the way, fastest runner that ever was a runner.
Especially on fire. Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, because the crypt is like way back in like near the keep, and then where he jumps is way up, like away from the keep. It's really interesting. I'll show you the next time.
Anyways,
that.
Billy Boyd.
Yeah, he's going to be singing another song
with the girlish voice when he sings.
But I'm excited because he gets to do the end credit song for Battle of the Five Armies, which he's gonna write and
Wait,
direct.
they're not going to split the Battle of the Five Armies into two?
No,
Like all these other things they're
no,
doing?
they just split the Hobbit into three.
Into three, yeah.
I also heard that the Battle of Five Armies is going to have a 45-minute battle scene
Ooh.
for the actual battle. And I'm sure it's going to be interspersed with like people talking and things like that, because you can't just have... I'm sorry.
I hope the only talking is them counting how many people they kill and versus each other, like
Like
Gimli
Legolas
and Legolas do.
Legolas is like, hey, where's that kid? Where's that guy with the son that's named Gimli? I want to do a contest with him. I don't know why, but I just feel like I want to. Gloin. Yeah, Gloin.
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 It's like loin
With a
but
G.
With a G.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's called The Last Goodbye, apparently.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He does, when he was singing that song in the trailer, he sounds just like a girl.
That is like such a beautiful song, though.
Sure. Doesn't sound like a girl.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Disney is coming out already, like announced their next.
Speaking of
CG.
more fantasy stuff, right?
Yeah, sorta.
Sorta.
So their next CG film in the vein of Frozen and Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph and Big Hero 6 coming out.
Which hopefully will do good, because so far the rest of them have all done great.
Yeah. I think the reviews are like seven reviews at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes
For
Big Hero
Big Hero
6.
6, nice.
But this new one's going to
I
be
meant
called
Manoa.
What?
Moana?
Moana.
Moana.
I would say is how I would pronounce that.
Is Lilo and Stitch going to show up?
It honestly, that's what I thought too when I saw this, because it's set in a South Pacific style world. A world called Oceania, which
Okay.
is basically all South Pacific style tribes and everything like that. So
Right.
Hawaiian tribes. And the young girl named Moana is searching for a fabled island that's going to like help her family or something like that. And she gets the help of a god named Maui. And apparently this was slated for 2018, and now it's coming out in 2016.
Whoa, that's... Wow.
They bumped that up like super quick.
Yeah, well, 2 years is a good chunk of time. Good chunk of time.
Good chunk of time.
Chunk of time. For something like a CG movie. I mean, CG it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's thousands of hours of computer rendering and processing, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, sheesh.
All right, Scott. I just pulled up a graphic for you, and this is the 100 deadliest films they're calculated by on-screen deaths. This isn't like watching a city blow up from far
Moana
away.
is right there, like in the middle.
Oh, that's really weird.
No, that's not going to be a very good, a very good family movie right there.
No, it's not. So this is just counting deaths that happen on screen up close,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're like, oh, well, 100,000 people died in Man of Steel, or
Millions in Noah,
or the entire world in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
or
7 billion people.
Knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
7 billion.
Yep. So number 1 on their list is actually going back to Lord of the Rings. The Return of the King has 836 on-screen deaths.
Wow, it's the highest by a large
200.
margin.
And then it goes Kingdom of Heaven with 610.
Oh, too bad it wasn't by 300, and 300 was the second one.
Yeah, well, 300 has 600 kills.
Oh, okay.
So double the amount of Spartans.
For every Spartan, they killed, on average, 2 more people. Okay.
Now, I wonder if that includes all 300 Spartans, watching them all die on
Probably.
screen. Yeah.
Because they all did die on screen up close.
And then you got
Two Guck guy.
the Brotherhood of War, apparently.
I don't know.
Troy, Last Samurai is up there. A Fistful of Dynamite. I don't know what that is.
No. That's surprising, though. 1971.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And the rest are up here in the 2000s. Looks like Two Towers is up there in the 400s.
Then Windtalkers, King Arthur, the big red one.
I think this is all 100 of them. But down at the bottom is Starship Troopers 3 with 171 on-screen deaths.
I did not realize that Grindhouse Planet Terror had that many deaths in it. Same with Titanic.
Yeah, that seems kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much I
I
trust
can
this
see
list
Starship
anymore.
Troopers. Yeah, I could see that. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Really, like, does that include? What does that include? I guess it includes zombies. Like, that's why Planet Terror could be up there.
And 28 Weeks Later and Mutant Chronicles, they were pretty much zombies as well. And Expendables has 203. What?
Oh, that movie's full of death.
I'm pretty sure this doesn't just mean as long as there was a person on screen and they died.
Yeah.
That's
It wasn't like main
So like when a
characters
whole
only.
building full of people and they're all standing against the glass blows up, then I guess that all counts, right?
Yeah. But I just thought that was kind of interesting that Return of the King was the highest up there. I mean, technically, if you do really want to talk about it, you're right. The knowing is like 7 billion people who die, except for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing would,
Also,
or any other world-shattering movie.
the Keanu Reeves movie where he's an alien, he's Cloud 2. The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty much everyone dies except for 2.
No, it's not. They shut it down.
No, the 2 kids leave.
No, that's knowing.
That's right. You're right.
Yep.
That's right. No.
I think the first or the Star Trek reboot had at least 2 planets filled with billions of people dying.
Yeah.
Vulcan and I'm sure
Romulus died as well.
Yeah, Romulus died on screen. So you know, it's kind of. I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I thought we could round out.
Hollywood
the news.
loves their deaths.
Yeah, I thought we could just round out the news with that. So
okay.
yeah, let's go ahead and get into our
with a good even kill.
yes.
Okay.
600 by 300. Let's go ahead and get into our reviews.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Woo!
Today, we are going to review the last in the fall lineup of TV shows that came out. Constantine is finally out now.
Yeah,
Had their premiere episode
on Friday.
2
days ago.
I'm going to let you start off because I have things to say, but I want to see what you think first.
Okay. First of all, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought that the person they got to play, John Constantine, played a really good John Constantine.
I think he's a perfect John Constantine.
I wish he would smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that because, smoking's bad. Don't smoke out there.
Smoke.
Smoke. But they obviously can't for, political
TV
reasons,
reasons.
TV reasons, and that kind of stuff. Because that's a big part of his character. Is he knows he's damned basically in the Constantine world, and so he just doesn't care. He just smokes all the time. Whatever.
Yeah.
The girl they got to play,
The lady, whatever her name
was, and of course the one that quit.
Yeah.
Like
after the first episode.
Mhm. And the way they wrote her out was kind of quick and weird.
Yeah.
But I guess it'll work. And
You could really tell, though. Like, you could really tell that it was like...
it was a way filmed after scene. It
yeah.
was like they had the talks with her, and she's like, I'm quitting. And then they are like, okay, well, see ya. And then they go and film a new scene with that she's not in.
Yeah.
Because she's gone.
Yep.
But they talk about what happened to her and where she went or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then they introduce a new girl at the end.
Which I'm glad, because the girl that quit, whatever her name was, I'm so glad that she's not Zatanna, because she was not very good.
Yeah, she wasn't very good at all.
Pretty bad actor or actress.
Actress.
No, they actually called actors now.
Whatever. Equality. I thought it was good.
Good?
Good.
Is that like between good and great?
Yes. I could see problems with it, though. Some of the acting was over the top.
It is TV after all, though.
Yeah. Some of the the plot seemed kind of really predictable to me. Like I knew what was gonna happen pretty much the entire walkthrough. There were a couple parts where I was like, oh, whoa, okay, wow.
Like when they talk about the demon that came and got the little girl.
Mm-hmm. Nergal.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Ooh. And
I like how he tells the one demon, he's like, "You tell Nergal I'm coming for him." I was like, that's definitely John Constantine. He would say that.
There were a couple moments where I was like, "There's no way that you could possibly know what you know right now." Like at the end there, where he's getting ready to release the demon because the demon has the little girl.
Oh yeah.
And then she like touches the amulet and she just sees the little girl with a skull on her face and she's like, "It's not really her." And I'm like, "How do you know? Maybe that's what all dead people look like."
Yeah, I know.
From hell.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it was all there to facilitate the plot.
What did you think of the angel, the character that played the angel?
No, thanks.
I didn't really like him either.
I hope that he's only around every now and then for like advice or something, rather than joining them.
I hope they get like new angels throughout the
really
season.
Cool.
Yeah, because at first we thought maybe he was going to be
Zariel,
from the comic books, but he wasn't. He's got a different name.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It was like a human name too. It was weird.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, "I'm the angel,
Billy."
Yeah. I'm
okay.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay, Angel Billy.
Billy.
But that one was a little odd.
Yeah,
he was a little odd. But I loved Dr. 13,
mm-hmm.
which I think that's who it is.
I think you're right. I think that's Dr.
He's the same guy that plays a character on Justified that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He plays oh jeez, I can't remember his name.
Constantine's exactly like he is in the comics, an asshole.
Yeah.
The
funny part is when they pay off the guard at that one point. I'm going to do this without trying to spoil it. They pay off the guard. Said guard gets murderlated. That's not too spoilery, is it? Because it's not really an important character.
Yeah, not really.
I wish he would have, to show how big of a jerk he is, I wish he would have went and got back and got his money and took the guard's wallet. Like, how awesome would that be? Because he would do that in the comics.
Yes, exactly. And I think he kind of already showed it, like when the dead guard showed up with the demon infecting him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I figured that would happen."
Bang, kills him.
And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What? Yeah, okay, fine." All in all, it was a pilot.
Yeah.
It was definitely a pilot.
Hopefully the next few get much better.
I think it did 4 million ratings, and that was against the World Series too.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it actually did. Maybe it was 2.7 mil.
Well, anyways,
but against the World Series is pretty good.
They said it was enough to keep it on the air.
Good.
Against the World Series.
Good.
And on NBC, not really. Is it NBC? Yeah, NBC.
Yeah, NBC.
Not really a network known for having like super high rated stuff.
Yeah, they really don't have much going for them right now.
Yeah.
But they showed it, and it was there were parts that creeped me out. Like there were a couple horror scenes that I was like,
which is saying something for TV graphics.
Yeah, it is.
Because I look at TV graphics and I see like what's the other, like, Grimm and stuff, and I see their graphics. I'm like, meh.
It's TV
definitely
graphics.
Tell, you know. You can tell it's lower
even
budget.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of
they got some pretty low
graphics.
Budget stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it.
Yeah.
How many geek cards do you give it?
So if it were just this episode, I would give it 1.5, maybe 2, because I didn't think the episode was like good enough to sustain itself. Knowing it's a pilot, and knowing that more episodes are coming, and these things usually do get better, I'm going to give it a 2.5. With the caveat that it can go up to 3 if it tries really hard.
I'm going to give it a 3, mainly because I was squeeing like a schoolgirl when I saw the helmet of Naboo.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Fate's helmet.
You give it extra half a geek card for
the girl picks it up, and he turns to her and he goes,
I wouldn't touch that.
I wouldn't touch that, but I'd drop that love before it drops you.
Yeah.
You know, in his typical British accent. And I was like, yep, that's Constantine. He would say something like that.
I'm excited to see where it's going.
I want to see someone put the helmet on.
You've got 2 more episodes to wow me.
John Constantine, put the helmet on.
Put the helmet on. It's probably going to be like...
Oh, that's right. You have a rule of 3. I forgot.
Yep. You have 2 more episodes to completely wow or disinterest
If you ever meet Cory in real life, you get 3 chances. You get 3 meetings. The first one could go terrible. The second one could go terrible. As long as the third one, as long as you wow him,
yeah,
he's cool with you.
Yep, exactly.
Otherwise, all 3, he's like, Matt, Nope. Next.
Yeah, sorry.
He stops hanging out with you.
And I
So
do
all
that quite often with people I meet.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. So all in all right then.
All in all, by and large,
Well, that's the only thing that we really watched that was new this week.
pretty much. I wanted to go see John Wick.
Oh yeah,
Is that what is it? John Wick.
It's John Wick.
Yeah, the Keanu Reeves movie. Apparently, my best friend, went and saw it, and he said that it was actually really well done, and it played towards Keanu Reeves' acting type.
So he didn't act very much.
Yeah, he did a lot of calm beating the crap out of people and shooting people. And he says it's really full action and actually did really well in the box office, way more than people expected. So that's
because
good.
there's nothing else out against it.
I thought there was something.
Fury.
Yeah,
No,
Fury.
that came out last week.
Yeah. But it was actually surprising to most people. They didn't expect it to do as good as it did, and I kind of want to go see it.
Okay. I don't think there's anything coming out next week.
No, because the week after that you've got Big Hero 6.
Yep, and Interstellar.
And The Theory of Everything.
3 movies that Scott needs to see.
In one weekend. Oh, my gosh.
Well, you've been saving
I
up
do
from
it?
this week,
Can I
this
do
last
it?
month, right? All right, let's go ahead and get into our trailers and videos.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
So we already talked about the Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron. The Age of Ultron trailer. But I also wanted to mention that because the trailer was released early and they were still planning on releasing it during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're going to be releasing new footage during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It'll be like
on
3
Tuesday.
seconds of new footage, I bet you.
No, I bet you they'll do like an exclusive scene or something from it now.
Oh, the part where Ultron talks to him in the penthouse.
Yes.
Oh, that's my second favorite part of that whole trailer.
Yeah. Of course, the first part is HB.
You know what? It's been out long enough.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't been 2 weeks.
Are you sure?
I want people
it's
to
a
go
trailer.
see it for themselves.
But it's a trailer.
I know, but it's the trailer of like the year.
Well, I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy.
No. It's the trailer of the year.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, the first Guardians of the Galaxy trailer was last year, I think.
I know, but there was better ones this year.
Anyway.
Well, here's my reasoning why we can spoil it. Because it's 1 minute and 40 seconds long. It's not 1 hour and 40 minutes long that someone has to sit through. They can go take a poop and watch it on their phone.
But, okay, so
you
here's
can't
the
really
thing.
do that with a movie.
Here's the thing. Well, you can, but it's not recommended because your legs could fall off.
Not very comfortable.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, is I want people to experience that, oh my gosh, amazing moment when they see HB.
Okay. They'll have no idea what we're talking about because they don't know what it is.
Well, they'll know as soon as they see the moment. Let's just say
Tony Stark nesting doll. That's that's how I'm gonna spoil it.
That is the Chinese name for Hulkbuster. Oh shit! Dang it! We're gonna have to cut this.
I don't know. I think we should leave it in.
Well, I did swear there too.
I don't care. I think it'll work fine.
Dang it!
all this talk about not revealing the Hulkbuster, and you do it.
Damn my mouth diarrhea.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Okay, go see the trailer, people.
Here I am trying to be nice and be like Tony Stark nesting doll.
I'm sorry. Of course I'm the one to ruin everything.
I thought that was planned for a second there.
No, I really wasn't. Oh man, I'm so sorry, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to another video that we saw. Scott, I pulled up this little YouTube video, this kind of fun animated short for you.
Yeah.
And when we say animated these days, we usually mean CG.
CG.
Mm-hmm. Called A Tale of Momentum and Inertia. Basically, the stone giant plants a rock on top of a mountain. It starts rolling down the hill, and he heads towards this kingdom.
He does all this stuff to stop the rock.
And he ends up accidentally tapping the church and destroying it.
Tap. He taps the bell. The bell rings, and then the whole church just crumbles.
collapses. And then all of a sudden, all these cannons and catapults and everything and ballistas
Pop out
up.
and start shooting him.
Yeah.
And he gets an annoyed look on his face, steps
And
to the
then-
side, and lets the rock crush the city.
Yes.
it's like 30 seconds long. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So
I did too.
go check that out. A Tale of Momentum and Inertia. It's got no Hulkbusters in it.
No.
All
But that
right.
rock guy fighting the Hulk.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's called Korg.
No. The rock guy, the size that he is, mountain sized versus the Hulk, normal
would win.
sized. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he's the strongest one there is.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
true. And then we saw the Dread animated web series teaser trailer.
Yes, we did.
I'm not impressed.
I do not like the animation at
No.
all. And it's just a teaser, so maybe the regular one will be better. But I can't even compare it. What can we compare it to?
There is nothing out there that
It's
we
like
can compare
it's
it.
like
it's
like
a
an
bad
Asian American fusion anime, and it's not.
So do you
not in a good way.
remember? Do you remember that Fox was coming out with like an Axe Cop cartoon? That
Yeah,
had
the little
their
kid, the
animated
little
thing.
kid made up.
Mm-hmm. It was like
Yeah.
a bad version of that animated.
Okay, yeah,
show.
you're right.
So, go see it if you want to.
We're not. I don't know.
We'll probably watch at least the first episode of the web series.
Maybe we'll wait until it's on Netflix or something,
Yeah.
and we'll watch it.
I don't know.
It was
But, yeah.
weird. That was it.
Yeah,
We didn't see a movie this week, so there was no real trailers. We saw new. We talked about all the ones we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The Interstellar trailer's great. I saw an article. They talk about the massive black hole and how it's one of the most accurate portrayals of black holes out there in visual, at
Impressive.
least. So that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that works out good. Otherwise,
not much.
nothing. Not
yeah,
much.
not much at all.
Even the news was fairly scarce. We kind of burned through it really quick.
Yeah, we had a
but-
lot of like quick news topics and everything, but that's fine. That gives us more time for our topic.
Dun dun dun.
This isn't right.
What? What's the matter?
This isn't right. We should split up. We can cover more ground that way.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Really?
If you can't tell from the clips that we've been playing all episode, the horror season is upon us. Halloween is this Friday. And so by the time this episode comes out, you can listen to it on Halloween. Ooh. Which means it's our Halloween topic episode. Woo! Woohoo! Spooky.
I'm not really into scary movies.
No, you're not. Should you just leave and I can get my wife down here to talk back and forth?
No, it's
about
fine.
It?
It'll be nice back and forth because
Yeah.
you know a lot about them and you watch a lot of them, and I can give the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'd like to go about talk a little bit about the history of horror movies, and a lot of my knowledge is from my pick of the week a couple weeks ago when I talked about Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, a documentary, and they kind of go through the whole history of horror films. The first horror movie ever was a complete and total flop. It was Thomas Edison's filming company making Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Oh, I was gonna say, is he filming the video of when he electrocutes the elephant
No,
to prove that DC current is safer than AC current?
no, I know. Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah. But his company tried making a Frankenstein movie, and it was a commercial failure. Nobody wanted to see it.
Did they not
thought
want
it
to be
was terrible.
scared,
I
or did
don't
they just
know.
think it was bad?
I don't know. That's the 1920s, I want to say. 1918 somethings.
Okay.
1900s.
18,
Yeah.
19, 19, 1918s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, from there, we started getting horror movies around 1918 and such. A lot of it was coming from Europe, like these German directors and these just all over Eastern Europe came over and they were showing their like Phantom of the Opera and everything like that. And we started getting more and more. So the first wave of horror movies are the monster movies, the Universal monsters.
Okay.
Like Dracula, Bela Lugosi, your Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, your Mummy, your Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Sorry, Frankenstein's monster. I should say that.
Okay.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because well, I guess Frankenstein kind of is a monster.
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein.
The Invisible Man is among them. Actually, a really good movie. If you want to watch a good old-fashioned horror movie, The Invisible Man is really impressive.
What about the Portrait of Dorian Gray?
I don't think
has that ever been a movie?
No, I don't think that was a movie. It might have been later on, but I haven't
book.
seen it.
I know it's a book.
So, Scott, my question to you for this first wave of horror movies is: what's your favorite movie, like Universal movie monster?
Out of okay, actually like. It's hard to choose. I like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That is Casey's choice too, surprisingly.
And because it reminds me of Swamp Thing, and also it reminds me a little bit of like Neil Gaiman's Sandman, kind of novel and that kind of stuff. But mainly Swamp Thing from DC Comics, which is what I think he was modeled after.
Oh yeah,
because you look at him, he looks just like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, dripping and mossy and swampy. Basically, he has lots of, pardon my French, swass. Swampy. Yep.
You gotcha.
But yeah, that is probably my favorite. I mean, there's always, of course, the classics. You got Dracula and Wolfman and stuff. But they've been done so many times that it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
Because they're all different and they all do different things.
And it's hard to pick like, oh, I love every version of Dracula. No,
But
it's like,
how
I
many
like
times has
certain-
the Creature from the Black Lagoon been redone?
like once is the Swamp Thing.
Right. Right. So he's
unique.
He's probably the most original and most classic of them still.
Okay.
So
mine is actually Frankenstein's monster.
okay.
I'm a huge fan of that because he's such a complex
Outcast.
character.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, and every time he's portrayed, I think from like the first time that he's portrayed as this monster. But even in the first film that they did, not Thomas Edison's one, sorry, the first Universal Frankenstein,
Universal Studios.
Yeah. They showed him playing with like a child who wasn't scared of him, playing by throwing like flowers in a river and everything, and it's always been Frankenstein has always been kind of that sad tale that is really relatable and really interesting to see. Compared to
He just wants to fit in.
Yeah.
He wants to be accepted.
Yep. So he's my favorite. Plus, they can do some really cool things with Frankenstein type monsters. So,
Plus, he makes noises like. And he was played by the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond at one point.
Yes, he was. For those of you Mel Brooks fans out there,
Which I've never seen.
no, we need to get you to see that. So, horror wave number 2 took on the form of the Atomic Scare and the Red Scare.
This is probably where I know more about. Not more than you, but
Yeah.
more than the previous
Yeah,
wave.
like I think this is pretty much your age right
Yeah,
here.
this would be like alien invasions and nuclear
any-
men and Godzilla basically
Any
is
type
in
of
this.
any type of movie that says it's us versus them,
Yeah.
like we're the good guys, they're the bad guys.
And
clearly.
let me tell you, if praying mantises ever grow to become human sized, we're all doomed.
Yes, we are.
We are doomed. I watched a video of one eating a bee. It just catches it midair and then eats its face. Literally just eats its head off.
Wow.
And it takes like 10 seconds
10
or
seconds?
so. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm glad that I'm much, much larger than they are.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the theme of this second wave of horror movies. Is half of it is movies like War of the Worlds, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and The Thing. Not the John Carpenter Thing, but like the original Thing, where it's like Red Scare, aliens coming to take over us and make us unique or dead, or not unique, conformity. Make us conform to their ideas.
You mean Yoon Eaton?
Yoon Eaton.
Making us eaten or dead.
Yep. And then on the other side of it, you have creatures that have evolved from atomic blasts. Like Them is a movie with giant ants in it that evolved from a nuclear explosion, that kind of thing. So,
Well, you can't pass up Godzilla.
oh yeah, you're right.
Every one of those Godzilla movies with all of his Godzilla enemies, you know, Mothra,
They're
Mechagodzilla,
all
Rodan,
radiation.
the one with the 3 heads,
Ghidorah.
and
And King Ghidorah.
yeah.
Actually, I think King Ghidorah is Ghidorah, because then there's Mecha Ghidorah that has 2 of the heads gone and replaced with metal ones.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's your atomic wave of...
And I kind of like that. I don't necessarily have the patience to watch those movies because, again, I have a problem with if it's bad audio, like and it just makes the acting that much worse.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But I like the idea, and the books that come from that era, from the 50s and 60s, are fantastic. I mean, you've got lots of like Robert A. Heinlein and stuff. He's done a lot of sci-fi, but it was a lot of like that, like you said, us versus them. Aliens are coming and they're trying to make us do something, but we're humans and we're not going to stand for it, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of crazy stuff.
So horror wave number 3, I guess we can call it 2.5, because they kind of were hand in hand going on at the same time. But this started becoming more popular later on, is the kind of the nice people have a secret era. Things like Alfred Hitchcock was pretty much the boss when it came to this kind of movie, with Rear Window, Psycho, A Shadow of a Doubt is a full town with a secret type movie. He does really good with those types of movies.
Who's the guy that writes? He's basically the Hitchcock of books. Stephen King. Stephen King, didn't he start at this point?
I think he started around, I
Or
think
is
he
he in,
started
like, the
around
70s or
70s,
80s?
so we're getting close to him. But he kind of has the same style, where it's normal people who go a little crazy.
Yeah.
And
Here's Johnny.
Stepford Wives is another one that kind of came from this era where they're taking people away, and that's kind of like the connection. Is it's the perfect town with a secret, and it's the take people away and turn them into robots, kind of thing. So it kind of
the motto for this one would be "One of us."
One of us. Yes.
the town that, like you said, has a whole secret. Basically, what British guys, they do the triple movie, 3 different types of movies, zombies, and then the cop one with the Nick Frost, Simon Pegg cops. What's that one called? Where they're police.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
This is exactly right up that alley.
Exactly.
The whole town has a
occult,
secret. You know, the whole town's a bunch of cannibals, or they're you know, or they sacrifice people regularly, or something like
exactly
that.
that. So then it kind of evolves into slasher flicks, which is our stage 4. I would say your second wave of movie monsters: Jason, Freddy,
The guy
Mike Myers.
The guy with the pins in his face, Leatherhead. Is that
no, his name is Pinhead. No,
Pinhead?
it's actually, I think it is Pinhead. Is the guy's name?
But then there's like Mike Myers, which
Mike
and then there's, I
Myers
think there was Leatherface or something was one of them.
Leatherface from
where he-
Texas Chainsaw.
where he made a mask out of other people's skin. Yeah.
And made lampshades out of their other parts. And
That makes it
Chucky.
sound. Did he make lampshades out of their butts?
Yes, butt shades. Lamp butts.
It was just a bunch of butt cheeks sewn together.
Yeah. That's where why do you think that doctors graft from there? It's the best skin.
Okay. Smooth as a baby's bottom.
Yep. That's like a graft on top of it.
Okay.
Anyway, Chucky also came out of this era.
But by slasher, you mean just like they chased him around
Yeah,
with
it's
knives
kind of
or
these,
some kind of weapon. And in Jason's case, it was like whatever he could get his hands on.
Yeah.
Chainsaw, knife, piece of glass.
machete is
Machete,
his favorite. Basically, these are supernatural killers who can't be stopped by conventional means.
Yeah, shootings do not hurt them.
Yeah,
Lighting them on
you know.
fire doesn't kill them.
Yeah, even though it should.
Well, you know.
And I mean, they always come back. They're always at the end. There's never a clear, like, oh, they're absolutely dead.
That's
you're
because they
just
don't
like-
chop them up into little pieces and burn every single part of them.
So that's interesting that you would say that, because there is a Jason number 8, Jason Goes to Hell, which was supposed to be the last Jason movie. And at the beginning of the movie, he gets blown to bits by the army. The army finally has had enough, and they go in and they lure him into this trap, and they blow him up with a rocket launcher.
Do they
and
lure?
explode him into pieces?
Is the trap a like an army guy but dressed up in a dress and we got a wig on?
No.
Oh, help me!
Actually, they take an army sergeant and they send her to Crystal Lake to
Okay.
stay there, and they tell her.
I heard they're hiring camp counselors.
Yes, they are actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Theirs keep going missing for some reason. I don't know.
Well, they have such a high turnaround
They
rate.
do have
for
a high
some reason.
turnover. That's true.
Yep. But she goes and she purposefully gets naked and gets in the shower waiting for Jason. And then as soon as he
With
gets
a
there,
rocket launcher.
no, she runs out and she leads him to this trap. Well, they blow him up, and you know what happens? The first person who touches his mask, the soul of Jason transfers into his body. So there's no way you can kill Jason.
So his mask didn't get blown up.
No, of course not.
Apparently, hockey masks are invincible.
Indestructible, Scott.
Okay.
Absolutely indestructible.
They should
So-
know. They should know that they need to pick it up with tongs and
Yeah. So
destroy
same
it.
question from the Universal Monsters. What's your favorite slasher?
I'd have to go with Freddy
Ready?
because of the whole dream world stuff where he can't attack you in real life.
No.
But the minute you fall asleep,
You're his.
you're his, and he can do whatever he wants in your dreams. And it's creepy. It is
There's
really
one
creepy.
scene where he takes this kid's veins out of his body and holds him up like a puppet and walks him, and everybody else is just watching him sleepwalk with his hands out, and he looks like he's kind of in pain. He walks him to the edge of a clock tower and then cuts the strings and lets the kid fall off and die. And it's that kind of stuff is just
It's creepy because there's nothing you can do about it. That's
exactly.
that's what's creepy to me. I mean, Jason, and all these and stuff. It's they're creepy, but at least you'd have some kind of fighting chance. You
Yeah,
could fight
exactly.
back. Well, Freddy, you can't.
not really.
He owns your dream.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
And I
that's
like
creepy.
Freddy because he's comedic too.
Yeah.
Where it's not just I'm just a slasher and everything, but he has a sense of humor that's really macabre.
So who's your favorite slasher?
My favorite is actually Jason. Going back to that, I
Okay.
think, first of all, he has the highest body count out of any of the slashers. Going back to
monster kill.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in Jason X, he blows up a space station filled with billions of people.
Oh, I have never seen that one.
It's the sci-fi one. It's really cool. His first kill, well, actually, the first kill after he gets unfrozen because they freeze him. But his first kill after he gets unfrozen is he takes this girl and he sticks her head into nitroglycerin. I want to say, what's the one that freezes?
Liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen. They have it like a pool of it.
Pretty much any liquid gas.
Yeah,
but liquid nitrogen's
they
the
have
most
a pool
common.
of it for some reason in this medical bay, and he takes her head and he pushes the front of it in there, and she's screaming. And you see the bubbles, and all of a sudden it freezes up, and then he smashes it on the table next to him and everything.
Geez.
And it's got the two girls from Andromeda, Rami, and the other one.
Lexa Doig and Becca Valentine.
Yeah, it's got them both, but they've kind of switched roles. The one who plays Rami is actually the girl from the past,
Which is Lexa.
Lexa, and then Becca. Did you say?
Well, Becca's the character name. I can't
Okay.
remember her real name.
Yeah, but she is actually an android in this,
oh,
and she's kind of.
I kind of want to see it now because it has sci-fi in it. So
I think we have it upstairs. So
you probably do.
I'm sure
I'd
we
imagine
can
you
convince
guys,
Casey. To
you guys
watch
have
it.
all of them.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, who's your least favorite slasher?
Chucky.
I was going to say Chucky too.
Yep. There's no
But it's
reason
a
why
doll.
Chucky can. Yeah.
It's a
There's
2
actually-
foot tall doll.
There's actually there's a horror
All I gotta
movie
do is
parody
baseball
movie.
bat. I win. Game over, Chucky. You lose.
Yeah.
There's
there's
murder you into little pieces.
There's a parody movie called Stan Helsing,
Okay.
starring the dumb football player off Reba, and as Stan Helsing.
Oh, which he also stars as a bartender in Shameless.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really funny. He's got
Yeah.
long hair and he's actually he's not very smart in that one either. He plays a really good dumb person.
Yeah, but they're going through and everything, and they're fighting all of these different movie monsters or movie slashers and everything. And then Chucky comes up, or the Chucky analog comes up, and he's like, "What are you gonna do about me?" Because he's matching all their weaknesses and everything and getting rid of him. And he goes, "Dude, you're an effing doll," and then punts him. And that's the end of the Chucky.
Yeah. I mean, it's like punt Chucky,
Yeah.
disarm him, and then drop him in a wood chipper. Game over.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Game over. If you don't
Yeah.
have a wood chipper, just cut him into little pieces with a saw or something. It's a doll.
Yep. And then I would say that we're gonna go ahead and Horror Wave 5 is Common Era.
Yeah, which is kind of like Jason. Jason's kind of gone from the first slasher flicks into this.
yeah.
Because they've had, what, 12 now?
Oh, yeah.
12 of them?
I think, well, they had Jason up to Jason X, which was supposed to be Jason 10, but is actually the 9th movie because Freddy versus Jason got pushed back. But Freddy versus Jason comes before Jason X.
Who plays in Halloween? Who's the Halloween bad guy?
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers, that's right.
Yep. I mean, they've all been redone and revamped and everything like that.
Isn't he do the Inside Out Richard Nixon mask?
It's not Richard Nixon. It's William Shatner.
William Shatner,
Yep.
that's right.
That's
right.
Inside Out William Shatner's face.
That's right.
But the common era is what I like to refer to as the torture porn and zombies era.
Yep. And this is the era that I dislike the most.
Casey loves it. She's a huge fan of Saw and Final Destination and everything. It's just, let's see how many people we can kill and how creatively we can
And
kill
how
them.
gruesome it can be. And that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, the only good thing that I do like about it is the zombie portion that comes with it. All of the zombie remakes, Walking Dead, World War Z's coming out and everything.
But there's still two. I consider those two still separate. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got your, like you said, Saw, all those different Saw movies. Those are torture porn.
Yeah.
How gruesome can you make your kills? How much blood can you?
The answer is extremely gruesome.
Yeah, and
as in,
they rate those
my
movies
gosh.
movies based off of liters of blood.
Yeah.
This has got 22 liters of blood in it. You know.
Yeah.
But zombies, yeah, they're gory. They're going to be gory, but a lot of times it's zombie gore, and it doesn't really affect. At least for me, it doesn't affect me the same way.
They're a creature, not.
They're
at
a
that
mindless.
point.
They're a mindless husk of a
Yep.
person. They, you know.
Also, this era has given us like Scream came out from this era.
Yep.
Which is a huge like meta statement about horror movies in general.
And it was also kind of a throwback to a slasher flick.
Yeah, it's kind of like that end of the slasher flick era where they're like, oh, we're going to talk about all these horror movies and what's wrong with them. And we also get a movie like our favorite, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, you're right. I do love Cabin in the Woods,
which is the genre breaker, I would say, like for horror movies, because they take it all and they say, hey, you know all these movies that you've been watching over the years? Well, here's what they're really about.
Yeah.
And they and you go, oh my gosh, that's so true. That I mean, this fits into everything.
Another one that I really like,
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yep, exactly.
I just thought of that one myself.
That's kind of the same on the same lines. It's more of a more comedy than horror, but
Yeah.
it does poke fun at a lot of horror
Absolutely,
stuff.
I love it. And also, this new era has been surprising with TV shows. We have been seeing a lot of horror TV shows. We talked about Constantine earlier. Sleepy Hollow is pretty gory and spooky. American Horror Story, of course, is like the epitome of horror
Every
shows.
season, there's a new mass murderer or some kind of crazy killers or something.
They're actually doing a companion series next to American Horror Story called American Crime Story, which is about serial killers, like just full on.
So they're
serial
basically
killers.
copying True Detective.
Kind of. Yeah. And Walking Dead, of course, is a huge horror draw.
Big zombie.
So I think we're in kind of a.
Oh, don't forget Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh,
Come on.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's a horror story.
Gremlins, duh.
Duh.
So, let's talk about some horror tropes, Scott. What is your favorite horror trope? And I'm not talking like which one do you think works the best. I'm talking like which one is the stupidest, or the one that you just like. If it doesn't happen in a horror movie, you're like, I don't like this horror movie anymore.
No one knows how to run. Every person that runs trips over their own feet.
Yep.
Not even like on a tangled cord.
Yeah.
It's like they just turn and they take 3 steps and they trip and fall. And it's like,
Seriously?
you've been running and walking your entire life, and all of a sudden you can't. I love that. I think it's hilarious. It frustrates me to no end because I'm a fat guy that can't run. I have bad knees, and I can still run better than you.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I think so. My favorite trope, and this is really like telling of the guy in me, but is the R rating and what they can show with the R rating. Like
Girl in
it's
the shower.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, that's no big deal here. But if I see a horror movie that doesn't have a little bit of tasteful side boob.
Which
I kind of like. I don't really like this horror
which
movie.
brings me to a perfect gift, a housewarming gift. I'm going to get for you guys eventually. It is going to be
Tasteful
the
side boob.
no, yeah, just a bunch of tasteful
Hey,
side boob
here,
pictures.
Look at that. Yeah. There you go.
No, it's going to be the shower curtain with the bloody handprints on it,
Yes.
and the bath mat with the bloody footprints on it.
That is super cool. But going, if people are like, oh my gosh, he's just a pervert. He just likes boobs.
You'd
The
be right.
other-
You'd be totally right.
Yep. The other trope that I like, we actually played at the top of the topic where let's split up. We'll cover more ground that way.
Yeah, and they make fun of that in Cabin in the
Yep,
Woods.
which is what we heard earlier. And it's
Let's
just,
split up. Yeah, that'll be great. And the one guy's like, really?
are you guys stupid?
What?
Yeah. The trope that I hate the most is the music.
Oh, the build up.
And that's the thing is, it used to be the build up would come and then something would jump out and scare you, and you'd be like, someone's gonna scare me. It scared me. But now it's like build up. Oh, it's just another person. Oh, okay, and then turn around. Suddenly the killer's there.
Oh,
Or,
yeah,
you know,
the fake out music.
you know that it's that the real horror part is coming if the music gets really quiet and you can't hear anything. And that brings me into my least favorite horror movie genre, the found footage movie. I cannot stand found footage movies because there's no music. You're just sitting there because that's
No,
suspense.
there's plenty of music. You just have to have a more artistic brain. And I'm gonna play some for you right now.
Dude, this is great, but track 2 is so much better.
All right.
And that's my problem because
it's all breathing.
it's
It's all
all
heavy
breathing.
breathing.
So-
which you should like Planet of the Apes then.
I thought you were going to make another fat joke about heavy breathing. I was like,
No.
you should like that. You do it all the time.
No, with
of the Apes with
Marky
Mark
Mark.
Yeah,
'cause
Mark
he just
Wahlberg.
heavy breathes a lot.
Well, so when I hear the music and I hear it swelling, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm supposed to get ready for something to jump. Or the music dies, I go, okay, I'm supposed to get ready for something to happen. But when the music doesn't start ever, my body just goes, everything is going to scare me, and I do not like it at all.
That's why they do it though.
And that's why I don't like it.
Because back in the 40s and the 50s, the build up, people were like, what's going on? There's lots of music. Oh my gosh, something jumped out at me.
The music built
but
that up for me.
It's been done so much, now they have to do something different. Pretty soon it's just going to be like constant build up music the entire movie.
Starting out
nonstop. It's just slowly get louder.
Yeah.
And by the end of the movie you can't even hear the people talking.
So what's your least favorite horror trope?
I don't even know. I mean,
Like,
I
they're
don't-
all terrible.
I don't watch.
They are all terrible.
I don't watch enough horror movies to really. Okay, you know what? I've got one,
Okay.
and this is more just because it's me.
Yeah.
I don't the whole demons and devils stuff.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in ghosts. So I have a hard time with any movie that does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my least favorite trope. That's where I go, ugh, really?
Great. We're gonna
Really?
do this.
You're going to do this?
Yeah.
Like The Exorcist, even that is kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
But yeah, Constantine's great.
Yeah, but that's because it's based off comic book.
Yeah, true.
And I really enjoy that kind of stuff in the comic book world
Mm-hmm.
because oh, you know what? I take that back. Not just that.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That,
Based on a true story drives me insane.
that tag at the beginning of a horror movie, you're just like, I'm out. I don't
50
want
ghosts come in and invade a house based on a true story. No, it's
no,
not. I'm sorry, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to argue with me, you can. That's fine.
Send an email.
I'm cool with that. I like talking about this kind of stuff.
How about this for a terrible horror movie trope? Cops are stupid.
Oh, they are very stupid.
Cops
it's
can't
like
do
they've,
anything.
They've never had any training
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, the door's unlocked, and they're just going to walk in and, with their hands on their hips and be like, what's
What's
going on in here?
crazy kids?
And then they get knifed in the back. You know?
Ugh, I'm bad at this.
Yeah, exactly.
Some other horror tropes is close-ups. I don't really like close-ups of people's faces. Going back to the whole Blair Witch Project, where she's pretty much like snotting out of her nose as she's breathing.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Oh, I'm not a big fan of the beginning of scary movies when all of the quote unquote jump scares come from people coming around corners or phones ringing suddenly because the girls want to get a hold of the other girl or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, and it's like a half an hour of build up before you even see the
first death.
the bad guy.
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
like, come on, please. Somebody kill somebody. I took a half day off work for this.
I would be very impressed with a movie company that decided to do a horror movie, but the only trailer is a comedy. Is comedy stuff.
Oh my god!
And then when everyone went to see it, it was a like
there would be
total
so
horror
much,
movie.
There would be so much parent backlash. For
I
that.
would be like, bravo, that was awesome. You totally got me.
Yeah,
you fooled me, and that's where I guess what the whole point of horror movies is to go and be scared.
Yeah.
So if you go in and you're like, oh, the first 15 minutes is comedy. Wait, I've seen all this in the trailer. That's weird. All of a sudden, like murder, death.
Yep. Murder and death.
They kill you with murder.
That's the second episode you've used.
It's
that.
funny.
Yeah,
it's
no,
funny.
No, it's fine. No, it's great. So I think that's about it. Some really great horror movies that you should check out. We mentioned Cabin in the Woods, Tucker and Dale versus Evil,
which we need to watch those because it's coming up on Halloween.
Alien is
Alien,
actually a horror movie.
Yes. And another sci-fi one that most people forget about.
Predator.
Well, that one too.
Tremors.
That one too. That's not really sci-fi though.
It kind of is.
No, Event Horizon.
Oh yes, that is
a ship that goes to another dimension,
ghost spaceship
full of demonic evil or something. Which is kind of, you say, well, but Scott, you hate that kind of stuff. That's fine. However, totally different dimensions.
Extra dimensional beings are a little bit different than demons.
super aliens that you know. You know, the super devil that carries a jar of marmalade that makes you commit adultery. Stuff like that. Like, that's funny.
Yes. Predator. We talked about Predator.
Yep.
The newest Predators movie is actually really good.
Yeah, the one where...
Yeah. I think that the remake for Friday the 13th is actually very well done.
What is Friday the 13th?
Jason.
The first Jason,
Yeah.
right?
That's, yeah. The remake stars a couple people that you'll recognize, including one of the Supernatural brothers. What was that?
No, sorry, I was blowing something out of my face.
Okay. I was like, you're like sitting here waving at me, and I'm like, do I need to cut? Do I need to cut? I don't know what to do. But the main point of the new Friday the 13th, I really hope people heard that on the podcast.
My
not just
Benny
me.
Hill reminder to take out the trash.
Do you really take it out as Benny the Hill? Does a gorilla chase you as you take out the trash?
The weird thing is I keep trying to take it out, but every door I walk through, I come out a different door in the same hallway. What is going on with that?
I would say if you don't want to get scared by horror movies, though, go watch some Halloween episodes of your favorite TV shows. Casey and I just watched the Buffy Halloween episodes.
I just watched
funny.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, way funny.
Yeah, they dress people up in costumes and everything like that because they can, and it's super fun. So, go check it out.
And kind of a little background on horror movies in our little geek family here. I've never really been a fan of them. Cory's wife is a huge fan of them. She would watch them all the time nonstop.
I used to hate horror movies until she started watching them.
But you like more of the older ones. You're not too big of a fan of the torture porn stuff, are you? Like, do you like Saw and
no? I like them well enough. It's just, again, those movies have to have certain things in them that I just like. Okay, well, this movie interests me now.
Yeah, so Cory's kind of about halfway. So anytime a horror movie comes out, like The Conjuring was the most recent one, or not
Annabelle, which was the sequel to The Conjuring.
Although we went and saw Carrie, and I actually enjoyed that one.
The remake of Carrie was really good, and the original Carrie is really good.
But only because she's got telekinesis, which I think is cool. It's a cool superpower. So, but we try to, anytime there's a movie coming out, she ends up going with her sister most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, nope, I'm out. I don't care.
I don't want to watch horror movies.
I have a friend
in the theater.
will not watch horror movies at all.
Yeah,
at all. He just hates them.
Wow.
He just cannot stand them. He's just like, I don't like them. I don't like being scared. I don't like any of that kind of.
You know what's really interesting is my wife is super into horror movies. She will not set foot in a haunted house.
Really?
Yeah, I've tried every single year.
To go?
She I guess she had a bad experience one time or something like that. And she just she doesn't want to be up close and personal. And by the way, there are some way wicked haunted houses out there. Like full on pull you away from your group, kidnap you and tie you up for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
While
You have
people
to
run
sign a
around.
waiver for that
you
kind
have
of
to,
stuff. Yeah.
But that's crazy. That
I
was crazy.
wouldn't do that because I'd end up hitting someone. You know, like you'd get that survival instinct of like fight back.
Yeah.
Or I would end up getting hurt, and I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah,
I don't like
exactly.
getting hurt, and that's what drives me crazy about torture porn movies.
It's 'cause-
about it. I don't want to see bones being broken. I don't want to see joints being broken the opposite way they're supposed to go. That is the worst thing for me. The scene in Watchmen when they fight in the alley and the guy gets his arm broken and the other guy gets his shin broken. Both those, it took me like 6 times of watching through that before I could finally stomach it and not just have to like cover my eyes.
We were watching A Million Ways to Die in the West last
Oh my
night for the
gosh.
second time, and there's a couple bone breaking.
Did you notice I kind of walked away at the part where the guy walks into the jail cell because he gets kicked in the knee and it goes sideways?
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Gosh. That just makes me cringe because I've been hurt enough. I've broken enough bones.
So, really quick for the listeners, I have a funny story about Scott and his knees. So he had just popped his knee out of his socket
And
one
had to
time.
put it back in the driveway.
Yep. And we got him into the room and we sat him down, and you were reclined and everything like that. And then we started watching
with
The Simpsons.
ice on it. Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be the episode where Homer jumps to do a slam dunk on the hoop, misses, catches his leg, and bends it completely backwards.
Yeah.
And Scott almost fainted when he saw that.
I about threw up.
Yep.
I was really close to that. And that right there is the reason I don't like that. Because I've been hurt enough that I do not like that kind of stuff. You know, I don't mind like cuts and stuff, and like, you know, if you see a scene where someone's like cutting the flesh off of that to me, I'm like, you know, I've been cut.
Bone breaking.
But
is
bone
where you draw the line.
breaking, dislocations, that's where I draw the line. And that
Misery.
just drives me crazy.
Ooh. So Stephen King's Misery, at one point, the guy's legs are feeling better and he tries and escapes, and the lady captures him again. And to stop him from escaping, she puts a block in between his feet and takes a sledgehammer.
I know. I don't even. I can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even let you finish.
But you can kind of get the picture of
No,
what she does.
I've seen the scene.
Yeah.
And I have friends all the time that will send me stuff on Facebook. They'll be like, "Dude, check out this UFC fight," and I'm like,
No.
"What happens?" And they're like, "Nothing. It's just a really good fight." And I'll click on it, and someone will end up getting their leg broken or their arm broken or something. And I'm like, I'm about to, you know, hurl all over my keyboard. Like, why did you send this to me?
Why would you do that?
And that is not an invitation
Nope.
for our listeners to send me torture porn.
Although that would
I
be,
will block you. I will block you.
That would mean we get some emails.
You get zero. You get zero. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, exactly.
You get 0 chances with me. If you send me like torture porn stuff and you don't tell me about it and try to trick me into it, you're gone. You're done. I won't hate you, but I'm just like, nope, not even gonna chance it.
Couple days from now, I'm going to get a text message from you that says, hey, we have like 10 emails in the box of different videos. Would you please check them all?
Go watch them
and
all.
vet them for me?
Make Casey watch them all because she's totally okay with that stuff. She goes, oh, ow. But that's it.
Then
And
she
I'm
laughs.
like,
oh my gosh. My wife laughs when people get injured. Should I be worried?
Does she laugh when you get injured?
Sort of? No.
Yeah, I'd be worried.
She almost fell down the stairs the other night, by the
Oh
way.
no, I've done that
Yeah.
twice.
And we have a friend who's done that and broken her hip.
Yeah, she broke it before she fell down the stairs.
Really?
Sure, I'm gonna say that because she can't remember.
Okay.
When she fell through the attic
Yeah.
and landed on her hip, I bet it broke it then.
Okay.
Rolling down the stairs was just like icing
on
on
the
the
cake.
cake. Yep.
A couple horror movies that I know that you've seen. House of Wax, the remake,
Oh.
where Paris Hilton gets her tendon cut.
No. She does not.
Oh.
She gets a pipe through the head.
That's right. It's somebody
He
else.
hurls a pipe across the room, and it's got like a sharp broken end on it, and it goes right through her skull.
Yay.
And then she falls forward on it and slides down it.
Oh, gosh.
And that to me, I actually laughed at that one because it's Paris Hilton. And I was
Yeah.
like, But yeah, there were parts where big old pair of scissors, reaches out through a floorboard and snips
the tendon cutting is probably one of my least favorite things.
When
horror
that
movies.
happened, I quite literally pulled my legs up, and I was like, "Oh gosh, that's horrible." And then I heard some news story about people were doing that. They were hiding under people's cars, and when they were go to get a walk in them, they were taking a knife and doing that. And they were just like some punk gang or something as an initiation. And I'm like, so for a little bit after that, I was like checking under the car, like
I would
make
too,
sure there's not someone there trying to cut my Achilles tendon. I have an old friend across the street when I lived at my parents' house. He was playing basketball and ripped his Achilles tendon. So it was one of the worst pain he's ever been in.
Yeah,
I mean
that's like letting loose a rubber band underneath your skin.
Yeah, and I can only imagine. I've heard many stories about it. How it's just terrible because it's basically how you walk.
Yeah,
if you don't have it, you can't walk.
Yeah,
that foot does not work properly. You know.
Another one that you've seen, Jennifer's Body.
That one's funny.
Yeah, and that's why I like horror movies, is because
you know
laugh
what?
at them.
That's not very gory.
Yeah.
Though I look at that one and it's I think you see like maybe 1 or 2 times where it's really gory, and the rest is all like off-screen gory. You know, she kind of morphs into her like possessed form and then eats them. But it's funny because it's what's her name? The girl that always needs a bath.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Yep.
She always needs to take a bath. She's
Indeed,
dirty.
she does. She's very dirty,
and not like a dirty girl. No, like you have dirt on your face. Go wash it off.
Yeah,
that kind of dirty. And that one's funny.
And then American Horror Story is on Netflix for anybody who wants something to watch.
I actually watched that one a little bit with you guys, and that one was not too bad.
Yeah, it's
I
actually
think,
pretty impressive.
I think it's because it's on TV and they can't do as much with it as they could with the movie, like an X-rated or unrated movie. Not X-rated or what? R NC-17.
R.
Yeah.
R or unrated.
Yeah, or unrated. X is they're pornographic. Corey would like those horror movies.
Yay!
He's got a lot of side boob.
I should not have told you that. I told you that in confidence on the podcast, Scott,
so that anyone can hear.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, horror movies, great. Have a fun Halloween, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Planning on smoking a little dope, having a little premarital sex, and getting slaughtered?
All right, picks of the week this week. Scott, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Sure. I was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was stuck on picks of the week, and then you showed me this, and I was like, holy crap, this is cool.
I thought you might like it
because I was geeking out about the Ultron trailer, but I didn't want to make it my pick of the week because it's just that awesome.
Yeah,
and
it's so awesome.
We had to record, we had to review it. I mean,
Yeah.
geez. We spent like 15 minutes on it, or however long.
Spoiling it.
5 minutes. Oh, Corey.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Sorry. I'm still learning. There's a guy out there, Fred Perry.
Okay.
Pretty standard name.
Yeah.
Writes a comic called Gold Digger.
Is it about who's the guy who sings that song? MC Hammer?
I don't know. Some R&B artist.
She ain't nothing but a gold digger. I don't know. We're just gonna move on.
I'm not a broke person.
Yeah. We were two white guys trying to remember rap lyrics.
Yeah, not gonna work.
No.
Anyways, Gold Digger is about a girl who is basically a female Indiana Jones. She's a treasure hunter, but that's her nickname is Gold Digger.
All right. So Laura Croft.
It is not about. It's not about a girl that's trying to marry someone that's rich.
Yeah. And it's not about a guy who wants to put everything in a museum. She's kind of just in it for the money.
Yep, she's in it for the money. She's not Laura Croft-esque. Like, she's not as attractive as Laura Croft.
Okay.
So she's kind of like the ugly duckling.
Uh-huh.
She's fairly attractive, but the less attractive to the people around her. Like, there's always someone prettier around her, you know.
Usually her sister, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and you're right. And she's a were-cheetah. Or a
were-cheetah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, were-cheetah.
Very attractive were-cheetah.
Yes. They all are, all right?
Yeah, I guess,
sure. Yeah. But what's so special about this, you ask?
Yeah, what's so special about this?
It's just a comic book.
Yeah, it's just a comic.
Nothing. I just like it.
I hear it's one continuous story. It doesn't reboot it at all.
That's true. Well, in order for people to catch up, they would have to read about 200 comics.
225, I think, is what his current issue is.
Yeah. So 199 up to the last little story arc thing that's going on. Well, what's cool about this is Fred Perry released all 199 comics for free on PDF because he wants people to catch up.
Oh, that is super awesome.
So you can read it on your tablets, you can read it on your computer. I'm going to put it on my Kindle.
Trying to get some new readers in. That's
Yep.
super awesome.
That is fantastic. Totally free, and you can get it from AntarcticPressLibrary.com.
awesome.
And that's spelled just like Antarctic
Press and library.
Press and Library.
And .com.
And .com. That's
so that's how you spell Antarctic.
Yes.
And press and library and com and dot.
and .com. But yes, that is awesome. And
Yeah.
thank you again, Cory, for turning me on to that.
No problem.
I mean, thank you again, Cory, for turning me on
yeah.
to that. Mm-hmm. Record it and make our own clips.
Yeah. Well, my pick of the week was going to be Gold Digger until I introduced you to it, and you're like,
Because I'm a failure at this.
No, you're fine.
I was only geeking out about one thing.
Which means I had to finish a book last night in order to make it my pick of the week.
Sure.
I had to. I had to wait. I had to stay up until 3:00 in the morning wearing the cape, book 1.
Hold on. Staying up till 3:00 in the morning sounds terrible until I realize it's a book or something. It's something I really want to finish reading, and then all of a sudden time flies by, and the next thing you know, you're like, actually, I'm getting kind of tired. Oh, it's 3:30.
Oh, why?
Whoops.
I guess
I have
that
work
would
tomorrow.
explain it. Yeah. Well, Wearing the Cape is a superhero book
By
Marion G. Harmon.
okay, so a female writer. Interesting.
And she writes a female character named Hope, who. So what happened is
Hope Summers.
Hope Corrigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not quite Summers. What happened at the beginning of this whole storyline, there was this thing called The Event, where everybody blacked out for like 3 seconds.
It's like Flash Forward.
Kind of like
TV
Flash
show.
Forward.
Okay.
But there was all this disaster that happened because of it. And when everybody came to, some people noticed that they now had superpowers. Like the first superhuman that ever got recorded on TV, his name is Atlas, and he's got super flight, super strength, invulnerability. I think he can go Mach 2 is his speed when he's flying. And he's got kind of like telescopic vision and infrared vision.
Sort of a Superman
Sort
analog.
of a Superman. And, and they talk about that in the book too. They said he could have just, because this is a book where all of that exists, all of that superhero stuff exists. And they said he could have just slapped the S on his chest with the symbol and everything, and people would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
Like he would have been, but he named himself Atlas, and
So wait, so you're saying the world they live in already has superhero comics and stuff, but then all of a sudden
it happens.
people actually get
Yep.
powers. That's
People actually
cool.
get powers.
I like that.
And then what happens from then on is certain people, when they get into traumatic situations, they have what's called a breakthrough, and they become superheroes themselves based on the situation, what's happening. So Hope is driving on the highway, and a bridge collapses on her from an explosion a terrorist set off. Well, she's trying to get out of the car to help another family that she was like waving at. Like there was this little girl that she waved at before, and she was really concerned. So she pushes her way out, and I think they describe it as, it feels like something just clicked into place, and suddenly she breaks free, and she's another Atlas type superhero with the super strength and everything like that.
And how old is she?
She is 18.
Okay.
And she has a body that I can only describe closely as my wife's. She's 5'0". She got less of a chest than my wife, and like she describes herself as a pixie.
Okay.
Like everybody sees as their kid's sister, and suddenly she's got
So she
super
looks
strength.
So she looks super young, not very tough.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
anything,
She looks
and
super
then-
young, like a kid, and everything like that. And it's all about her learning to use her powers because she's super strong now and everything, and fighting this guy called the Tea Time Anarchist, who is somebody who's trying to keep the future from becoming a totalitarian state or whatever. Like
Yeah,
that. Yeah. And
stop it from turning into 1984, George Orwell.
yeah, exactly.
The book.
So it's really cool. You get to see kind of how superheroing would work in, again, a different reality, but a reality nonetheless. Like, not everybody goes into the superhero business. There's plenty of people who are breakthrough who they have different types. Like Atlas type is like her with flight and the whole Superman package. There's an Ajax type, which is a superhero who is ground level, super strong and everything like that. Like they have a bit more strength, but they can't fly and everything. Kind of the Luke Cage.
Yeah,
style.
okay.
And there's
Can't lift a car, but
like you can lift a car, but
can't
you
lift
can't
a car.
fly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
you can't fly or
so
move really
so
fast.
early Superman, Action
Yeah,
Comics,
exactly.
Action Comics 1 through 10 Superman, basically.
The super intelligent ones, the super intelligent breakthroughs are called Vern types, like Jules Verne.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all named after like famous characters. Like their superhero names are named after famous people.
Or mythological
people. And anyway, so it's kind of this, and not all of these superheroes are the superheroes. Like a bunch of Ajax types are in something called the Crew, and their job is repairing damage. Like they repair damage really quickly because they're super strong. They can move rubble out of the way and then rebuild super fast.
Nice.
Or some people go into celebrities. Like there's this whole like supervillain rap culture movement. And one of the supervillains that is part of it is called Freak Zone, and he's basically a morpher. He's a shape changer who can change into anything, and he uses it for his show.
He's your favorite character in the book?
No, you only see him for a little bit.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Because you love your shapeshifting.
I do love my shapeshifters. If you go on to Amazon, I think the first 7 chapters are free for Kindle, and then you can buy the book. It's like $8, but it's well worth it. It is super worth it.
So
at the end, you're kind of like,
I'm seeing here wearing the cape. The beginning. That's the first 7 chapters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, and then wearing the cape is the normal.
Is the full book. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then that's the first book in a series. So I'm going to be working on Villains Inc. is the next book that I'm working on, and that starts out with the Godzilla fight. I am not joking you.
Awesome.
Because a Vern type has released all these biological.
Yet another
Godzillas.
book I've got to read.
Yep, I know. Just add it to the list. So that's my pick of the week.
It's fantastic. So, to recap, you can go read 199 comics
and 7 chapters of a book,
and then 7 chapters of a book, unless you buy it, and then the whole book about comics and superheroes.
It's a good week to be a geek.
It's a good era to be a geek.
Yeah, it is the golden age of geekery,
and I am so happy about that.
And we're happy to bring you this podcast every single week,
every geeky week, every week,
and every week,
every week.
I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And wait, we're not done yet.
No, we're not.
I totally forgot.
I was waiting to see if you got that.
We have to do the emails. You can email us at actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
Please email us. Please, guys. Please.
Just email Scott a bunch of torture porn.
No. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut the email out.
All right, fine.
If you want to contact us over Facebook, you can. Facebook.com/actsofgeekery.
Or on Twitter at Acts of Geekery, or use the hashtag Acts of Geekery. We'll find it if we ever go on Twitter.
Yep. And YouTube.com/Acts of Geekery.
When
and
we get these up.
Yeah, eventually. And that is ACTS, not AXE.
Sorry, I almost thought you were going to say ACTX, and I was like,
nope, ACTS.
Okay, anyway, I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
Yeah. Ooh.